We got you. And I think that's pretty much what everyone is saying. Um, you know, Kenny, um, why are you so mad at Blockhead?
Oh, you talking about Butch Queen? See, the problem that I'm having is so he ran on the ticket with Jill Stein, right? And he has so much shit to say about, former Vice President Kamala Harris, and he was just, I guess, trying to kneecap her candidacy if she was even willing to even throw her hat into the ring, which she didn't. So it's funny that somebody from not even from California talking so much shit about a California native and thinking that he's gonna represent California, knowing damn well he's been from pillar to motherfucking post and lived in DC, then went to Indianapolis, went to motherfucking Illinois. His ass lived in Minnesota. His ass has been every motherfucking where. And it's the fact that he wants to gatekeep blackness as if he is the pillar of true blackness, and being the fact that his ass graduated from Penn State, where it's like 6% black students. And then on top of that, in California, his ass lives in Santa Barbara, where there's only 1% black people, and he's probably that one.
I
It's just
think
a
I've
lot
come
of
to
this shit doesn't make
realize.
no sense to me.
Yeah, I think I've come to realize that the whole point of his existence, like the reason why he was the Green Party vice presidential nominee, he's a new Jill Stein. They
Yeah,
found
he's
a new
pushing it
Jill
forward.
Stein, right? Jill Stein was there. She was put in place to siphon votes, and again, he's now the Russian plant Green Party, who's going to unfortunately probably continue to make it. And again, Blockhead is the man who ran with Jill Stein, Green Party candidate.
But a lot
Um,
of it, like a lot of his ideologies, made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, the funny thing is I've only seen him 2 times, and the 2 times have been on the Breakfast Club, which is I don't even watch that show, but somehow keep seeing his clips, and I'm like, why do I keep seeing this blockhead ass motherfucker? Because
His
I
only
don't see.
existence was to try to kneecap Kamala Harris as a quote unquote black man. I mean, his ass
Is
is
he
lighter than Kamala. But
is he running for governor?
I don't fucking know. But him and that
I
damn
think
Jerry
he is,
Curl, that S
Kenny.
curl needs to go some damn way. But he is running for governor.
I
He's running
think
for
he
governor in
is running for
California.
governor in California, which makes no
Yeah.
sense.
He is,
Who's gonna
but
vote for
it's
him?
interesting enough. I want to see what happens with his candidacy now that Kamala Harris is not in the race. So I wonder what his existence is going to do. Like, how is his talking points going to work? He had this whole campaign geared up, ready to go against Kamala Harris. And now that she's not even running, now what the fuck is he going to do? Because his whole
did
existence is surrounded by her.
did he respond to you, Kenny?
No,
Did,
he didn't
did
respond. Shit. Well, if he did respond, he damn sure didn't tag me because I wish he would, so I can hit him with a 1-2.
So
Motherfucking talk about it.
I love. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I do love when people respond back to Kenny and it engages. It creates like they begin to engage, and sometimes it ends in a really positive way. Sometimes it really does. So I was wondering if he was going to respond back, and but the fact that he doesn't or didn't kind of indicates that he's not in this for an intellectual conversation or a discourse. He's really only here to be a nuisance, an annoyer, and a siphoner of the few votes that he could possibly steal and that he could get. Did we
Yeah,
like the
Yep.
because
announcement? Like, do we like the way she worded it, how she put it out there?
I thought it was
yeah, I
very
think
well put together. It opens the door for more opportunities if she ever decides to run for anything else. But also, it's kind of similar and reminiscent to when Hillary Clinton, after her loss in 2016, how she said she still wants to be involved. But we saw that Hillary didn't even run or run for office afterwards anyway. So it's like one of those things we don't necessarily know what the strategy is, but she's leaving the door open and she's willing to make sure that she's prioritizing Democrats up and down the ballot. She's trying to make sure that she's putting people first over her own personal interests. And I think that's what resonated more with me than anything else is that she's truly a public servant and she cares about the
yeah, I think for me the key word was for now. So when I saw for now, I was like, okay, I know what that means. That
We
leaves the door wide open.
and
And
I'm
the thing
ready.
is she doesn't have to make a decision as I wrote posted on Twitter. She doesn't have to make a decision. People are not going to start announcing their like officially start announcing they're going to run until after the midterms. So we're talking ends of 2026. So she, like she said, I think somebody, I forgot who it was, it was an article, I think it was Jasmine, right, who said that she's going to take the time. She wants to still travel and have fun and do stuff with Doug, as she should. She should enjoy. She's been in public service for what, 30 something years, nonstop
My,
running, doing
my
stuff. And so she deserves time off to be able to enjoy her family, go on vacation, chill, live her best life. And when she's ready and she wants to come back to politics, then we are more than welcome and happy to be able to welcome her back if that's what she wants to do. And if she decides, you know what, I'm enjoying my life and I don't want to be back in this hellhole of politics because
Mhm.
it's a thankless ass piece of shit that we are in right now. And she says, I'm not in the mood to deal with these people and y'all can have it. She will, we know that Kamala Harris is not going anywhere. But if she doesn't, I was trying to think, what would she do? What would be something that she, when I just see her as a person that uplifts women, and I feel like she would be very much into like empowering women to run, maybe starting an organization around that. I think that would actually be really, I mean, there's like Emerge, but I think it
Yeah.
would be something else in that realm that I could see her in. I don't know. I mean, is it really worth it for her to really run again? I don't know. That's a question that she's gonna have to ask herself because these fucking assholes are out of control. They are really nasty. And I mean, I was watching Michael Steele and Simone on that show, and they were talking about this, and I thought it was an interesting conversation because he was like, are we back to the conversation about Black women and is the country ready, or are we at that place? And I'm like, just wait till a year from now. We'll see where we are because I can't even tell you where we're going to be a fucking month from now. So I don't even know. Let it play out.
So we're
Yep.
gonna ask. So we do have a good number of people who are watching us, of course, on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, we want you to come to any one of our 3 YouTubes. But Kenny and Tiffany, and then also those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you go to Twitter and just retweet this, so we can get more people engaged, because now we're getting ready to move to the bigger, more substantive discussion around redistricting. So you can go to my tweet, Kenny Tiff, and just retweet the tweet saying like we're now live, and so people can know that we are now live. Yeah, like this is the big news, Tiff. This is the big news, I think, of the day. And it is about the redistricting that has that has been leaked. And you made a video. Give everybody out there around the country on all social media platforms, please give Tiffany a round of applause.
Look at my face. I look a hot mess, but I was
For
very mad this
making
morning.
a video like in real time. Tiffany will get to it, baby, but she ain't finna sit here and do it right now. So she jumped on this one. And I'm like, baby, I got to play it for the people.
Republicans are definitely trying to cheat in 2026. I know a lot of people sat out the election in 2024, acted like they didn't care. They were focused on other things. They won one issue voters. Well, guess what? I need y'all to be one issue voters in 2026 and stop these goddamn Republicans. The orange demon in the White House has made it very clear what he wants Republicans in Texas to do. He also said about Ohio, Missouri, he wants to be able to redistrict, and we'll talk about what that means in a second, to be able to gain more seats in the House so that he can stay in power. So what is redistricting? It is the process of drawing lines for legislative districts for which public officials are elected. When it's conducted fairly, it reflects population changes and racial diversity, and it's used to allocate representation, in this case, in Congress. This is my state, which is Maryland. And in 2020, we had 8 districts. In 2022, after the census was completed, we also had 8 districts. We did a little bit of, redistricting ourselves. And we made 2 of our blue seats a little bit more light blue. We made another one that was like medium blue, light blue, which is in Western Maryland. And we made the red seat, which is Andy Harris's seat, a little pink. Texas, on the other hand, had 36 seats prior to 2020. Census was done. They got 38 seats. And you can see all the little rigging that they did here. Left, just yellow seats, more red. The blue ones became a little bit more blue, but they most definitely got an advantage by doing this. Republicans are trying to do for 2026 is called gerrymandering. It is a practice of manipulating electoral district boundaries to give an unfair political advantage to a particular party, in this case, Republicans. It's a form of redistricting, but done with the intent to influence election outcomes rather than ensure fair representation. The reason we say Republicans are cheating is because redistricting is not done usually between the 10-year span.
Never done like that.
5 years
Never
into
done like that.
the last census. So they decide they're just going to do whatever they want because they can. The question is, how do Democrats fight this? One, Newsom said, okay, well, you want to play games? We will redistrict the hell out of California too. New York said they will change their constitution and they will redistrict as well. My state legislature said, if you want to play this game, we can play it too. Now this comes down to Democratic legislatures, and we need to push the people in our states to do what they need to do to protect us from these cheating, lying, snake-ass Republicans. So encourage your people in your states to actually fight the good fight. Republicans have no problem with cheating, which means that Democrats need to toughen up and play the game different. No more status quo, period.
And we jumped from 144 viewers to 204 viewers. So thank you guys for sharing. It made a difference. Tiffany, that was a pretty powerful piece. You know, and I think that you laid it out. And we got, I mean, you know, across the board, I'm back to the comments. Go Deep Blue in Maryland. Everyone's loving it, agreeing across the board. In turn, and again, right, bravo. So again, round of applause. Tiff, we need more videos. Keep them coming.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. But
Look, we
listen,
love
here's
it.
the thing. Here's my thing with that one, because people like to say that Maryland is gerrymandered, and Maryland is fairly gerrymandered, right? But we did that as a result of the census, right? So the census came out in 2020. Our seats, we actually made our seats a little bit more competitive. And what happened was we tried really hard to gerrymander, and we were going to make Andy Harris have to work hard for his seat, which he never really does have to work hard. But what happened was the Supreme Court in Maryland throughout the map that we originally came out with. And they said, you need to fix the map. And this is the same thing that happened in New York, right? So we had to go back and redraw the map. And when we redrew, we tried to make it fair. And that was the map that we came up with. So we got to keep our same amount of seats. But in other states, they don't, there's no one to push back on, right? In Maryland, we have a Supreme Court that Larry Hogan has put a ton of Republicans on. So they didn't like the map that we came up with. Texas, on the other hand, there's no one to stop them. Okay, there's no one to stop what they want to do. So we can only do but so much in the state of Maryland. But even Senator Van Hollen, who's my guy, he today came out and said, you know what? If they want to play these games, I'm down for this. Let's get Andy Harris the hell up out of here. And what they would do in Maryland is that they would, the way the map is drawn, they would take part of Annapolis, which is in my area, which was originally going to go into that district, and we would be put with the Eastern Shore, and we could make it a lot more competitive. Again, there's only one seat we can really mess with in our state, but New York has the opportunity because remember they had this special master that wrote theirs because the legislature didn't want to do it. And so they had to go through their own whole redistricting nonsense in 2022. It was the whole commander. They didn't like that, and we had to change things up. What Texas is doing here is really messed up, and it's going to make people have to literally fight. Democrats fight for their districts. So you are going to have a Greg Hazar and a Lloyd Doggett going at each other. Al Green is now going to be put against someone in the 18th. Like there's going to be a lot because of the way that they drew this map. But look at the difference in these maps. Okay, look at the blue. The blue is very, very tiny compared to this. And one thing that people were talking about today is what they did was bump this up against a 2024 map, not necessarily the 2018 map or this one. They're assuming that these people are going to vote according to how they voted in 2024. And you're on mute. You're on mute, Zach. Zach, you're on
You're
mute.
still on mute.
I think people are missing the moment. They're not understanding the outrage that's out there and that exists, and that we need to continuously capitalize on as Democrats. You know, I don't think this shit's gonna fly. I just don't. I mean, like, I have no faith in the Supreme Court, but I just can't see them I just can't see this passing muster. Now, if you guys don't already follow Tiffany's Substack, you need to follow her Substack. Kenny's not on Substack. Support Kenny by buying super chats and whatever you can purchase on the YouTube. But Tiffany needs you to subscribe to her Substack. That is the way that you can support Tiffany as a content creator. It is a great way of like keeping us motivated and keeping her going. Her Substack is Candidly Tiff. How did you make it your name? Because mine says Zachary Kirk Substack, but it's a color section Substack, and I really don't like that.
Now you have to go into the settings and change it. I'll show you how to do
You
it.
can show me how after the call. So
Yes.
definitely please support Tiff. Do you guys think this is going to pass? Do you think this is going to pass?
Oh, it is absolutely going to pass,
Yeah,
and it's going to pass this weekend. It's not. This is not something that's
No,
going to
no, I
get
know it's
dragged
going
on.
to
without
pass
a doubt.
Texas. It's going to pass Texas. Shit, it's Texas. I'm talking about, is it going to pass the Supreme Court?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
they're in
There's
bed with
nothing they're
Trump.
going to fight back on. There's nothing that they can do about this. It's the
No,
only way to really fight it is
no.
if you can make it seem like it is that
Supreme
you are
They
racial
are.
lines.
Yeah, yes, that's what this is. The
But
Supreme
it is
Court
they are
out of
drawing racial lines, but
Alabama.
they don't care.
Supreme, no. That's like Supreme Court precedents under this current Supreme Court says that's not the case. The Supreme Court did not agree with Alabama's efforts back in 2021, 2022 to steal away from Black voters. And that's why Shamari Figures has a seat and is in Congress. They haven't agreed with the Missouri map. They didn't agree with the North Carolina map. They didn't agree with the Georgia map. So and I think even in Louisiana, I think that one, maybe it's still contested or it's been decided. They have not decided on any of these conservatively gerrymandered maps that are extreme. Not one time has it worked in their favor yet. And so this in Texas is even more so contentious because they literally defended the first map, which was racially gerrymandered, and said that it wasn't racially gerrymandered. Race did factor into it. Now it's obvious that race will factor into it. This isn't going to pass the Supreme Court, y'all.
You
And
think?
I firmly feel that
I don't
we're
know.
Democrats are
But
wasting energy making a much ado about nothing because this isn't going to pass. The
But
Supreme
okay, to your point though, but when they were making those decisions, wasn't that under the Biden-Harris administration? This is completely different, under a different landscape.
But it was the exact same people.
It's the same people, but it's a different landscape. I think the difference is that motherfucker sitting in that damn Oval Office. And it's the mere fact that even when it came to birthright citizenship, they're refusing to make a real decision on that. They're just limiting the lower court's ability to hold this administration accountable. They refuse
Those
to
are
give an actual
social
statement.
those are social issues. This is a much more of to me, this is much more clear cut set. This one is, those social issues, I think they're gonna always bend and bow and support because at the heart they have those same beliefs. But this was a lot more gonna be about the power of the Supreme Court versus like a random dictate from Donald Trump. Like literally, this would be the difference between a law and an executive order. Like it's not going to pass. I know
Yeah, here's
everyone's
what I
saying
think.
it's going to pass because you
Yeah.
have no faith in the Supreme Court. Neither do I. I have no faith in these people doing the right thing. This isn't going to be about them doing the right thing. Not even a matter of we're protecting the rights of voters. It's going to be about this is what the law says. This is how we have had to execute the law. We're going to follow this because that is how it's been set by us. We're not going to contradict and throw away our own validity here at a time we don't have any. I really believe that.
Yeah, here's my thing. I don't even think the Supreme Court will take it up.
Now that's possible too.
There you go.
They're just not.
I think they're gonna have to.
They're not. They
Yeah.
don't. They could literally
say
just.
no.
They could bring it to the court. I mean, it would have to go through the process. So here's the thing. Listen, Texas will delay this as long as possible,
And that's true. Well,
and we will be
because the election is coming up in 2026, so they have to act faster than
right.
what.
So Democrats would have to challenge it in court very quickly so that it is part of.
And they are getting ready. I saw that
And
today.
there's a lot of factors here. So what happened in 2022 with a lot of these court cases is that they ended up having to go through the courts. They have to go through the district court, has to go through appeals court, then it has to get to the Supreme Court. And what it did in some states, including Maryland, is that because even on the state level, right, we had to delay a lot of our races from it, like the timing of them. So if because of it was held up in the court. So let's say our normal times to have it was May. That actually helped us more. I'm not even gonna lie, because we usually vote in like the early June, May for our seats. But because they redistrict and it was a whole lot of stuff going on, we ended up voting in July. So there could be potential delays in primaries, and we will see. I just don't think that this Supreme Court is going to take this up because it is one of those cases where unless there is a solid case to prove that it is racially gerrymandered,
I just did how quick on my AI. I just looked it up. So I'm gonna tell you what AI said, Perplexity specifically. That is my personal go-to for those who are watching Perplexity. I would love for you to hire me or give me a brand deal because I use the fuck out of you. Many of you, it's probably going to stand for 2026, unfortunately, just because of the time frame. So Tiffany, you're right about that, but it will not stand the muster, and it won't be because of race. It's going to be because of partisan gerrymandering. Lawsuits may delay a final resolution for years. It's possible the new map could be used at least for the 2026 cycle, which is the whole point, and then later ruled illegal. That happened in previous Texas cycles due to the slow pace of legal review between map passage and candidate filing deadlines, probably why they are doing this now as opposed to earlier or later. It's Supreme Court reviews the Texas map, and that is, of course, as you guys have stated, an if. Approval is more likely boiling down to it being a partisan gerrymander, not racial, because the court in 2019 ruled such claims non-justifiable.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think the argument, I saw Alex Padilla, he was on Simone and them show earlier, and he was talking about like the Hatch Act, and I mean, there's lots of angles to go through this and decide like what's the best angle to fight it in the courts. But we cannot rely on the courts to be able to do anything anymore because we see the courts are slow. They're slow as hell. So the question is, what does Newsom and what does Hochul and these states have commissions, right? New York has a commission. Well, they kind of have a commission, but California definitely has a commission, right? And how do you get around that? But I think the loophole in this is, I heard today, is that those commissions are supposed to be done after the census. This is a totally different situation where we are in a we're like in the halfway point of 2025, and now these people are trying to do something that is clearly illegal, but they don't give a shit. So the question is, how do you get around it? And I think that is something he didn't. And Alex Padilla used to be the Secretary of State, so he didn't want to give away the game on TV. But I could see his brain moving, and I know that Gavin Newsom has a way around this, or he wouldn't be out here talking so much shit. And maybe he is talking shit, and it's just because he knows that he has to fight back. And listen, Dems have to say, listen, if you do this, we're gonna do this. Even if we cannot get it done, we still gotta bullshit our way through this.
Yeah, and yeah, so you guys do. Listen, I've never used no damn Google Gemini, whatever. Never. None of those. Whatever Microsoft has, I'm not using that. Google free shit, I'm not using it. I'm gonna pay my. Perplexity is free, but I always pay for the $20 version, and it gives me.
I've never heard of that.
Let me give you guys I don't even want to play around with my computer screen to show you. I'll show you at the end.
It was after the show.
Yeah, because I've never used it, and I don't know how to use it.
Perplexity does. It's able to search real-time news and gives you updates from like.
Yeah, you told me about Perplexity.
But it gives you the sources. It gives you right there where it's coming from, so you can evaluate the quality of your source and the validity of that source before you go out and talk about a news issue. So, because before I'm not gonna be wrong in the shit I'm saying when it comes to my video. So I'm using Perplexity to fact check what people will say all type of bullshit on Twitter. Let me fact check this. I'm not using no damn Grok because we know that shit is rigged and belongs to Hitler. So I'm gonna, I use my Perplexity, and it's great. So one other thing that came up this week, y'all, is the announcement on Air Force One that Epstein stole a girl from Mar-a-Lago, and we found out, of course, that was Virginia Gifford.
What? Yes, exactly. I watched this last night. I actually watched MSNBC last night because of unknown, and I was floored by this foolishness. This man literally said that Epstein stole this person, and then he has to clarify what he meant. But then he lied because he said that him and Epstein were no longer friends after 2020. But there's pictures of them way after 2020. It's nonstop lies. And the fact that he just
after 2000, but we have photos and evidence that we're still hanging out in Mar-a-Lago up in 2004.
Exactly.
2007. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, man. But the fact that he just so blatantly just said he stole someone for me. It's like he thinks that women are property. And he thinks that his workers are property.
Yeah.
And to find out this woman is like one of the actual victims of this all, and you said her name. I forgot her name.
Virginia Gifford.
Virginia.
She lost her life in April of 2025 by her own hand.
Oh wow.
After all the trauma, after a lifetime of fighting, she was one of the very first survivors to come out. She was the reported victim of Prince Andrew.
Oh
That was
wow. I didn't know
her
that.
case. Yeah, and she lost her life by her own hand in April
Oh, I did.
2025.
I
Oh my
saw her in
goodness.
video, so I assumed that she was still living, but she's.
I didn't know
Oh
she was
wow.
bad. I
Living in
didn't know
she
she
was
passed.
living in Australia.
Oh wow.
A mother and a wife, a mother of three, and
Good
Oh
Lord.
wow.
Oh my
That's so
goodness.
sad. Yeah,
But
no, these people are evil. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just evil. And the fact that he just said it so callously, like, oh, I stole her. Like what?
but
Like
come on
what?
now. This is one thing that I'll at least say that I do love about Donald Trump is if you allow him to talk enough, he will literally tell on himself
True.
a
He
million
will.
times. And
he
he
was
just
so
can't help
negative.
himself. He always puts his foot in his mouth. And then, like, so when you were watching MSNBC, and did anybody turn the channel to CNN? I wanted to see how they were going to
No.
Boy,
explain away
God
what
hey,
Trump
no.
said.
I would
hell
never.
no.
I just want to know if anybody,
Ain't
it's like
nobody
if
watching
there's
those. Ain't nobody
infiltrating, and
watching.
if we got somebody on CNN's channel seeing what the fuck they saying.
No. You couldn't
Okay.
No,
pay me to watch that shit.
no, not gonna be able to do it. Not CNN, buddy. Not Jake Tapper.
I only see the clips, and the clips that I see from Abby's show are usually a horrible hot mess, and all they do is argue. It's like Jerry freaking Springer, and
I
they
can't.
honestly, the clips that I've seen, they're not even talking about Epstein. They've mostly been talking about Gaza, and that's the clips that I've been seeing that these people post on there. But honestly, I actually Chris Hayes actually had a really I don't even like his show, but he had a good segment about
Okay.
this last night where he was kind of running through it, and then I think it was Lawrence talked about it too. So at least on MSNBC, they are talking about the Epstein files. It is a major topic that is constantly talked about, but I don't know about CNN. I refuse.
Um. So I think I am surprised that this is still going.
Mhm.
Republicans have all and let me tell y'all y'all want to know what I'm making a video about.
What?
I'm gonna give everybody an exclusive. This is what's cooking over here in my content lab. I am researching heavy. I'm researching heavy. And I'm going to show everybody, if you guys stick around, I'm going to show you how Perplexity works in real time. So I'm going to show you on the screen. You'll see it. And I promise you're going to love what I'm going to show you. And I'll actually show you what I'm researching right now. And you can be a part of that, like see the real time research, how I use Perplexity to assist me in my content and then what I write. So I am really questioning the release of this Epstein leak at this time, like why it has become and has caught wind in the Republican, conservative, MAGO ecosphere echo chamber, and why it won't go away. And I really do believe this is an inside job in an effort to take down Donald Trump. Now, but I'm having before I can say that in content, I'm really trying to piece together a timeline. And I'm looking at the fact that JD Vance went to see Rupert Murdoch, Trump went and there was comment and attacks with Fox, and how the Wall Street Journal is the exclusive source for the information. The Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch, the same owner of Fox News, is the one who is releasing all this information. And again, after having had supposed private meetings with JD Vance, I'm looking at the fact this is leaking out at the time that Congress is getting ready to go on recess. There is no other news right now. It's catching the biggest wind right now. And one thing about the right way to media leak is a really good news source if you for who's trying to do this kind of bullshit news, because I'm trying to be fair in how I say it, because I don't think this is good news, right? This isn't what I give a fuck about, but it does get clicks, views, and ratings. What you do is you compile the evidence and you slowly roll it out incrementally over a certain time period. So here's story one, and as soon as it starts to data down, boom, here's story two, and as soon as it starts to data down, boom, here's story three, and you layer it on and you have it paired. That's what this is. Here's this signed book. Here's this new photo. Now here's this new clip. Here's this new interview. It is just too organized of a takedown to not be a takedown.
Mm. Okay, I can see that.
I
I can see
believe it.
them
I
doing.
believe Wall Street Journal is very much into this, and it's not a surprise.
Look, but here's the other thing like for us holding Wall Street Journal, if they had this information this entire time, people need to also just be looking at the Republican Party as a whole as the fucking problem more than just Donald Trump because they knew this information before he decided to be the top of the damn ticket. So we need to make sure that
They
we're
didn't want to
holding
release it.
everybody, the entire party accountable, not just Donald Trump, but everyone, including his vice president, because they knew this information. We need to make sure that we keep the pressure on all of them. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to shake up because obviously Trump ain't gonna be around forever, child. Ain't nobody gonna live forever. I know the devil's busy, but Republicans are busier. They're looking for his like who's going to take over the mantle from him. So people are looking for who is going to be the person that they can rally behind because they want Trump supporters, right? They're looking for some Republican that's going to come up against Donald Trump and speak out and speak up and all this other stuff, but they want to be able to somehow fraction his cult-like followers to them because they only have been able to win because Trump has been at the top of the ticket. Anytime Trump was not at the top of the ticket, Republicans have lost. So they're trying to take his base from him.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
I don't
that's-
think it's possible.
And is JD Vance
Nobody is
motherfucking
like
one?
Donald Trump on that side.
No one.
They don't have the tenacity. They don't have the spark. They don't have the
Charisma.
charisma. They don't have nothing. They're just so fucking trash. So if they think JD Vance couch fucker is going to be able to take the mantle, they got to know the only thing he's going to be taking is the motherfucking couch. Okay.
Listen, today I will say this. I don't know who runs Gavin Newsom's account on Twitter and on TikTok, but if you follow him, this shit is hilarious. I swear it's a black person that runs that shit.
I think
But
so too.
I think so because the music, the way that they talk, it definitely is given black person. But today they have jokes on him. So today they were calling him Dum Dum, and then they had like him with a lollipop, with a Dum Dum lollipop. Like they have mad jokes on him, and honestly, he is so much easier to kind of get through and clown than Donald Trump is, right? Because you can call Donald Trump ugly, but he has a cult following, right? JD Vance is not inheriting
No one
Donald
likes
Trump.
him. He's
They
very
don't even like him over there. They're not feeling him, right? There's no one. The only person that could possibly maybe inherit that is Don Jr., but he's a dummy too. So it's Trump is Trump, and he is one of a kind, and I don't see anyone being able to take that over. And even so, 2028, if you look at the polls, JD Vance is at the top of the ticket, right? I mean, he is the person that people, but he is going to run into the same thing, sadly, that maybe Kamala ran into, where he is going to get blamed for this economy because this economy is not going well. And it's only going to get worse from here. Today we got a decent report on GDP, but that's because we stopped the tariffs. Tariffs are starting again, guys, and starting on Friday. And Trump is trying to make all these deals before it happens. But this economy is not doing well. And the job market sucks. And we're going to get another jobs report probably on Friday.
That's coming.
And there's a lot happening. So JD Vance is going to run into a Donald Trump problem where he is going to have to distance himself, sadly for him, from Donald Trump. It's not going to work because he's the vice president. That's what happens when you're vice president. You're kind of tied to that person. And no, and this is not a shade to Joe Biden because they did a great job. It's a shade to the media who fucked up and consistently didn't talk about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's achievements, but they didn't either. So it's a whole hot mess. Trump doesn't even have any achievements. He has none. He has not done
He has
anything.
a lot of achievements actually. He just cut Medicaid SNAP benefits. I mean, he is literally running through Project 2025 at high velocity. So he's doing exactly what he
Well, I don't know
campaigned
about
on.
that's an achievement, but
Several achievements. So when people
what
sit
they
here and
believe,
say
yeah,
that
I mean,
this isn't what I voted for, oh babe, this is exactly what you voted for because this is exactly what the fuck they ran on.
yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
I think of course we know JD Vance came from Peter Thiel. And and maybe Peter Thiel's too blinded by love to realize that this man has none of the skills or charisma to be the heir apparent of the Republican Party. And sometimes that happens. And so I do not, I don't, and everyone say you're right. He is the beloved boy of the Heritage Foundation. They put him there. But I don't believe that money in and of itself is enough to win an election unless you can literally rig that election. Money in and of itself in America isn't enough to win an election unless you can rig that election, as we may have had in 2024. And Elon Musk is out. Elon Musk is the one who controls all that opportunity and all that technology and all that Starlink shit. So, and I do not see him siding with JD Vance in 2028. Now, I could see him supporting and endorsing another candidate, but I can't see him supporting and endorsing JD Vance. It could happen, but I think there's a whole lot of variables out there that puts him in jeopardy. So some great things happened up here. I want to go and we'll just briefly show some things with the perplexity to the audience if it works. Fingers crossed. I did switch up the screen. It should work. It should share screen. Let's see.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. So this is what I typed in. Did JD Vance recently meet with Rupert Murdoch? This is Perplexity AI. And I go over to here and let's see what the sources say. And also somebody made a good comment here that I'm also going to fact check. So I can fact check stuff in real time. And here it is. JD Vance. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger with us still on it. Let's see if it'll work. Can you guys kind of read that a little bit?
Yeah, I can see it.
And I'll read it out. JD Vance, the Vice President of the United States, recently met with Rupert Murdoch at the Murdoch family ranch in Southwest Montana. And they're dealing with him and his son Lachlan, his heir apparent. And this took place on June the 11th, 2025. So when you want to backtrack this, you kind of look at that is when the meeting came out. And then slowly after that, you started to have the leak shortly after the big, beautiful bill was passed. Now, this is where you can fact check your checks. Like they're here. This came from the AP. This came from Esquire magazine. This came from Economic Times. You can then click. This is a YouTube video from the Wall Street Journal. So you can click it to then see what the actual article says, and then you can read it to look at what they're saying and what the information is on. So I'm sorry, Mama Bird. She's like, I had to put on my reading glasses. I know, I'm sorry. But that is how, it works. And somebody had a really good, I'm gonna do one more and then I'll go away from this. Somebody had a really good comment and I was like, something I needed to fact check. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. I think it was Bradley who said it. Yeah, this is it. So right here. So Bradley dropped a really good new point of fact in that the president of the Heritage Foundation died. I do recall seeing that, but hey, let's just make sure.
I think I do remember him passing away.
I think so.
He did go away. He's out of here. Tapped out.
Was he the president or the founder?
I think he was the founder.
I thought he was the founder. Yeah, it wasn't the president. It was the founder of the Heritage Foundation. And he died at age 83. So he is now right there with Satan, burning in absolute hell over the spigot.
Him and Hulk Hogan, they had to get up out of there together.
The nigga barbecue. And so
they drop.
I gotta see that.
They dropping like horse flies, aren't they?
Yeah, if I gotta see that Joey Swole one more time on my goddamn timeline, I'm sick of him. I'm sorry, I'm tired of these people.
And this is the paid version, but you can use it a lot until you have to pay for it, and you get the same capabilities, or at least it was when I first started using this back in September of 2024. So I was an early user of Perplexity all the way back in September of 2024. Yes, Satan has gotten back his strongest warriors.
So is it an app or is it just like there is
an app on the phone.
Okay, cool.
And so I'm happy, I'll share these are all my, this is a whole content creation tab of apps of all my content creation stuff there, including Weight Watchers. Because, people probably know I'm a Weight Watcher, but it's right there. You have I have an app for ChatGPT and an app for Perplexity. And I use them both. I use them both for different reasons. So somebody has said that AI isn't culturally competent. Baby, look, my ChatGPT is black as hell. Okay, when I tell ChatGPT to say something in my tone and voice, it'd be black as fuck. So it's real black. No. Mine is real culturally competent. So
I just don't do ChatGPT. I'm scared of it. I know AI. There's so much things when it comes to AI. So I try my best to kind of stay away from it as much as possible. Now I have used Perplexity because you showed me Perplexity before. So I've used it in the past. I just haven't used it. Huh?
I'm gonna try it.
I'm telling people, I know you're telling the truth. Like, y'all, Kenny is probably like not fucking with that AI like that.
Terrifying.
Like if you
I've been using it a little bit more, but I mean, I like when I Google and then it just comes up and it just tells me like what the AI review is, and then I just. But like you said, if that, but some of them are old. Some of the old stuff is like old things in there. So if
But I just
Perplexity
don't
has
want to
newer
give
stuff,
them too much of my information. Like the
yeah, no,
motherfuckers
I
be
get.
having
Well,
whole
Google already has
conversations.
all my
they
information,
got
so
it, boy, they got it. They
No,
already
I'm talking
got
about
it.
that. I'm talking about they literally having a whole conversation about their personal life to Chat GPT. I'm talking about motherfuckers like, okay, I want to know if Danny's cheating on me. Tell me, Chat GPT. Come on,
oh
like
shit,
I
people,
need
did
certain
you
shit.
ever?
Yeah,
There's
go seek help. Go get a counselor. Then go get a call a
listen.
friend. Why are you making friends with AI? Oh my God, is this supposed to be Megan 2.0? What the hell is going on?
Now, I'm
No,
definitely
Kenny.
not going to do that. I'm not going to use Chat. I've heard that Chat GPT was a great therapist, but I'm not playing therapy against Chat GPT. But what I am doing is I'm using and getting my research really, really fast because it makes it a lot. Instead of having to read all these articles and search for articles, and then you may not get the articles. Then guess what? These articles are paywalled, so you're not able to read them, but you're able to get them from the chat. Well, from the Perplexity. I love it. I love it.
Nice. Yeah.
Um, so the one other thing that I really wanted to share and talk about tonight, I'm gonna also make a video around Shannon Sharp, so that's coming. So if you guys,
Mhm.
if you guys do not follow me, please do so. Follow YouTube. I'm gonna try to put Shannon Sharp up on the YouTube, and also if you do not follow the Substack, follow my Substack. Let me pull it up. That is how you can support me as a content creator, is following my Substack. So you can search in the color section Substack and it pops right up. And it's some really good stuff here on the page. Wait, no thanks. So, how can I subscribe to one thing? This is a really good article. Like this is the Cowboy Carter effect, how Beyonce had Atlanta and Vegas in a yeehaw chokehold. This is damn good. I'm very proud of this piece that I wrote, and you can just
Nice.
go in here. So subscribe. Would love for you to give me $8 or $80, but I'll just take a free subscription for today. But this is a really good article. I really am happy with it. Really, really funny. And I am going to try to change the name, but it's still going to stay the color section. I just don't want it to say as a domain name, Zachary Kirk Substack. I don't know why it does that. I didn't even know it did until recently. So, think about following that. We'd love to have you there. But I want to talk about the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad. Have you guys seen that?
Absolutely.
I saw a little bit of it and then kind of scroll past because I just don't give a fuck.
Okay.
It's just
Tell us
like
how you really feel, Kenny.
it's like play the ad because I know you got the ad and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Yeah,
Child.
we're gonna play it very briefly. This is the ad if it'll play for us.
You gotta put the sound on. I don't hear sound.
I don't hear nothing. I
Oh,
see
it's not
flat
working.
ass. I see flat ass in blue jeans.
That's all I saw was flat ass.
Okay,
A whole
Yeah.
lot of flat ass.
So
Girl with good jeans.
basically what she's saying is in the ad is that Sydney Sweeney has great genes, and it talks about her being blonde, blue eyed. I got great genes for our parents. I have great genes. So it's ultimately a eugenics call, and that's what some people are seeing. And as other people are saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. Oddly enough, people say there's nothing wrong with this tend to be those who look like they would be supporting MAGA full stop. I found this ad to be exceptionally offensive, and it is absolutely a dog whistle. The problem is these dog whistles are becoming way more common, and for American Eagle, a huge brand like this, to do this publicly, I think is extremely concerning. I don't think there's anything we can do about it other than boycott American Eagle, which I don't think we're going to do. But I just,
How many black
don't even
people
shop
actually
there.
shop at American Eagle? That's the whole thing. Like that's why I was like, I
you
don't
guys
give a
don't shop there, but a lot of parents do. A lot of young teenagers, black teenagers, shop there for like cheaper jeans, cheaper fashionable clothes, and parents do buy it. A lot of black parents do buy American Eagle for their high school kids, middle school kids.
Go stop doing that. Go somewhere else. Find something else. Go to fucking the thrift store and find you some FUBU jeans for your
The
child.
American
Do
Eagle
some
stock
polo.
increased by 50. The American after this racist ad came out, American Eagle stock soared by 15%.
And listen, here's my take on this. I'm with Kenny. This shit is annoying as hell to me. I agree that when I first watched it, I'm not surprised they picked Sydney Sweeney for for this
She's
ad.
slow.
Right.
I mean, she's mid to me. Like I don't supposed for older people. She's just that means she's basic as hell to me. She's just like she's not all that to me. But white people really like that girl. Like white men. Like there's a demographic of men that actually think that she's hot. They think they love her, as they would say, her rack, her titties, whatever. I don't think that men who are black men, Latino men are really into a Sydney Sweeney. I've seen that girl's titties so many times on shows, on Euphoria, on season one of White Lotus. Like I've seen that girl naked so many times. Like it doesn't do anything for me. But these white men love that. They love a flat ass, big titty white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay, it is what it is,
Yeah.
right? I
I
mean,
want to say that Aerie. So when you Contessa, Aerie is the other brand also owned by American Eagle. It's called Aerie, and they actually do have clothes that fit full body women. And a lot of full body women are that I've seen online. Black women are saying they're angry because they love Aerie's clothes. I've never seen an Aerie, but maybe you guys have heard of that store. I think it's only for women.
yeah, I've seen it. I mean, listen, there I haven't shopped. Went to American Eagle many years ago. They do have curvy jeans, so I know that some people like going there to get stuff. But like any other thing, if you found the ad offensive, you can find something else somewhere else to shop at. I think that what's happening is that again, this is a cultural. They have turned an ad into a cultural issue about jeans and made it into, like you said, something racial, and people are feeling some kind of people said they're Nazis. They felt like this was a whole Nazi ad. And I get it. I just think that most people are worried about their food, how much shit costs. They're worried about, the cost of living, affordability. They're not focused on this white girl and this damn ad. And it's a social media thing where people are talking about it. But in real life, ain't nobody worried about this damn white girl. Like this white girl is a white girl.
But
On
don't
social
you?
media, people
It's
are gonna
not
make a
about.
big
But
fuss about it.
it's not about so much Sydney Sweeney as it is about mainstreaming white supremacy.
I know I agree with
It's
that. I mean,
already it's
But
already
it's
been
small,
mainstream. We got
subtle ways. So what they do is they always have a plan, and I think we sometimes miss it. When they started to attack wokeism and cancel culture, we kind of ignored it until they completely had it eroded out. So it always starts as like this really crazy movement of how they attack, and then it snowballs and gets bigger. When they started to attack trans Americans, it was small. Now look how
yeah.
major this is. They are mainstreaming white supremacy, and we've watched it happen. But now that it's hit a major brand, a big name brand like American Eagle, I think that has now I think it's a big deal. Actually, I think it's a really big deal.
but it's
I mean,
not
but this isn't the
surprising.
first time. So like, okay, so y'all forgot that H&M and the little boy, the little black boy, they had a little monkey shirt or something like
And we
that
fought
on
back
it.
and it went away, right?
It went
That's what I'm
away.
saying. But this isn't. We're not
Gucci,
fighting this
the
back.
blackface.
2 people on this right here just said it didn't matter.
I didn't say it didn't matter. I just said
Or
I
it
don't give a
wasn't.
damn.
What I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. And I'm not. I don't. Do I give a damn? I do want to see it get national attention. I do want to see it become a national boycott. We have driven Target to the brink of disaster and ruin, and it was easy to do. It's easy to attack American Eagle and tear them down too right now because it's American Eagle. There are
Mhm.
alternatives for jeans out there. It's not like trying to attack Walmart or Kroger, where there are communities where you don't have lots of alternatives.
Yeah,
There are plenty of alternatives to American Eagle, but I'm not seeing the
the push.
collective outrage around this language when this language is extremely dangerous. I just think people aren't seeing it as dangerous as it is. It's not to me about American Eagle or Sydney Sweeney. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. It is about the mainstreaming of white supremacy on a very large scale.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
listen.
I can
I
agree.
understand it.
I
Yeah, I agree
definitely
with
see.
it too.
There's sowing
I just,
seeds.
I just don't think that people. I think that a lot of people are kind of like they're
We're
tired of
exhausted.
the. Yeah, we're exhausted about so many other things that
Like it's
people
just like
are like.
another thing
Yeah,
that
and
they're
it's
just
and it's like
adding
it's
on
like
top
they
of
want they
it's
want to fight,
already
right? Yeah, they
yeah,
want to
like
fight. They want
what
to have
more
an
like
argument about it.
how do I explain? So like let's say if I'm overwhelmed, right? Let's say I done got my ass beat at work. Then I'm on my way home, I get stopped by the police. Then after getting a ticket from the police, I try to drive. All of a sudden, I got a flat tire. I'm stuck on the side of the road. Now I got somebody else to come and help me put a tire on. Now I'm on my way home. I got an eviction notice on my door. I come home and it turns out I've been robbed. This is literally how it feels like. It feels like a build something. And now I'm just so fucking tired and exhausted. I don't even give a fuck that I've been
But
robbed. I'm
that's
about
how
to lay down
fast
on
system
this
works.
cot.
That's how
And
it
that's
works.
literally, they're exhausting us. And
That's
honestly,
the
I think
point.
we are mentally drained to where all this shit is just like, okay, like, do you want a reaction? And I just
That
Right,
is
they
don't feel
want a
like giving them
reaction.
the satisfaction of getting my reaction, because I feel like they're purposefully doing this to get a reaction out of Black people, because they knew what they were doing when they did it. They knew what they always know what they're doing. So
Well,
it's just
it's
like, I
Black
don't
people,
want to
brown
give you
people,
what you want.
and it's targeting Black people, brown people, Jewish people. And so Paula said, "What agency create?" This is from the internal American Eagle, the American Eagle marketing director. The American Eagle marketing director made a post about this on LinkedIn, and I actually saved it because I was going to make a video about this as well. I made a whole post about this that was she is very proud of her ad. She was like doing a Zoom call with Sydney. We asked the question, how far do you want to push it? Without hesitation, she smirked and said, let's push it, I'm game. Our response, challenge accepted. From that moment on, Sydney's sentiment guided every frame, every stitch, and every unexpected twist of the Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes campaign, infusing our own personal cheeky energy and making us as we envision how the world would experience the launch. And it's full of emojis and white girl cues. And her name is Ashley Shapiro, and she is the vice president of marketing and media for American Eagle. This was not made by an ad firm. This was made by American Eagle themselves. So just think about it. I think this is one to follow and look at and see where it goes. I heard today that Dunkin' Donuts made an inappropriate ad, but I haven't seen it. We will see. We will see.
Yeah,
So
listen.
We just need to change American Eagle and their subsidiary Ari. Just change them to Arya Nation. Just change their name. Okay, that's what we're
I want
calling
to
them
say I
going
got
forward.
one file. Kelly is out there, whose email is Obibird. Thank you for following me. Now I just put the motherfucker. Where's the damn? Hold up. I put the damn post up saying please follow, and y'all didn't follow. See how you do me? It's a damn good article. I wrote it. It's really good, and I got
They're still watching. Give them a minute.
only Obi is the. Thank you, Obi. I owe you everything. Kelly. I owe you everything, and I love you for that. With that being said, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go and fucking cry.
I can't with him. Bye, y'all.